The brothers.
All right, welcome back.
We were back, finally. Where have we been?
I was just going to ask you that question.
Where have we been? Have we been yard sailing? Heck yeah, we've been yard sailing.
So I started coaching baseball, and unfortunately, we have games every Saturday. And I also started a job in the off season, which I know.
Boring adult stuff.
So I can't just go out on Fridays all the time. And with baseball games every Saturday. Yeah, I finally went out yesterday, and I got some good stuff, but that's literally the only time I've been out this year.
Okay.
But let me show you what I got. I don't really have any footage. I started recording, and then the guy walked out with more systems, and I was like, I could tell he needed a hand, so I just kind of put my phone away. Anyway.
No footage. Bear with us. We're a little rusty at this. We haven't done this in a while.
Yeah, honestly, look, if you're upset over the no footage, just shut the video off. Like, seriously.
Yeah.
We always get comments. Oh, you guys have gotten lazy. Yeah.
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 What are you going to do about it?
I asked about games. The guy was like, well, what are you looking for? So he said he had PS2 games and GameCube games. So he runs in the house, and he just brings out 2 piles of games. Then he goes, well, I have the systems too. Are you interested in those? So he goes in there. So I'm looking at a Platinum GameCube, pile of games, PS2 Slim, bigger pile of games. All the PS2 games were garbage. Like, all Sims and ATV Off-Road Fury, they're all just not interested in them. So I think he threw out 200.
For everything?
For everything. I was like, I can't do that. So I got him down to 50, and I said, well, I'll just take the GameCube stuff. And then there was a random PSP game, Monster Hunter Freedom 2. I was like, can you throw that in? And he goes, sure. But that was the only...
No PS2 hardware or anything? Did you ask?
No, he had the system. Oh, PSP, you mean?
That's what I meant, PSP.
No, he said he doesn't even remember why he has it.
All right, well, Monster Hunter Freedom 2.
Stack of GameCube games are all complete. Super Monkey Ball is awesome. Have you ever played it?
Yeah.
It's awesome.
Yeah, it's kind of like Marble Madness, but...
It's a lot like Marble Madness.
But more advanced and like, this is 3D and stuff.
Lego Star Wars, X-Men Legends 2, so Lord of the Rings: The Third Age. This is a really fun game. I've actually been playing this game. So.
Oh, yeah?
My copy's not complete, so now it is. Just a real fun role-playing game. Kind of a dungeon crawler kind of a role-playing game. But there's a lot of cutscenes from the movie and music from the movies, and so, it's kind of cool, That old Lord of the Rings nostalgia. Namco Museum, Star Wars, Clone Wars, Pac-Man Fever, The Hobbit. I've never played The Hobbit before. Lord of the Rings 2 Towers, which I never played either, so now I get to play that one. Medal of Honor, something or other. So $50.
No Marios, no...
I know, it was like, if there was just like a Double Dash or a Smash Melee, this whole thing would have been just like so sweet. It's like, who didn't have Wind Waker or Metroid Prime? Like, his taste in game was not great. And like I said, the PS2 games were just like, they might as well all have been.
You expect that with PS2. But usually with a Nintendo system, there's always at least 1 or 2 first-party titles that really sweeten the pot if you find a bundle like this.
This is in decent condition, and then these are third-party controllers. So
you know what we do with third-party controllers?
Yeah. We're going to break something one of these days.
It's just third-party junk anyway.
Yeah.
No one cares about that.
I forgot to even look. That'd be hilarious if these were the component cables. They're not. Anyway, that was all I got. I went to like 5 sales, and I got this, so I don't know, I'm pretty happy.
Okay.
So I'm going to clear the table off because you've got way better stuff. Third party. I hate third party stuff.
Why do people buy it?
I don't
know.
know.
It's a little cheaper, but...
They don't know any better, honestly. They really just don't. What do we have here?
So I hope you can see this. This is the first time I've ever found one of these at a yard sale. And believe it or not, I specifically asked for this. I've never asked... We always say be specific, right? Name Nintendo 64, Super Nintendo. I've never asked for Rob the Robot until now. But the reason I asked for it, so let me rewind a little bit. When I got to the sale, it had just started pretty early in the morning. I was looking down at a table kind of like this, and a lady walked by, and she put this in front of me, right like that, and then kept walking. And I looked at it, and I was just kind of like, I didn't ask for it. I hadn't even talked to her yet. I hadn't gotten that far yet. And I'm just staring down at this, and I pick it up, and it's complete. Like the manual, everything is there. Black box, Duck Hunt, decent condition, not great, but not terrible. And she finally comes back around. I start a conversation with her. What else you got? And she says, well, I got some empty boxes. There's no more games. My games are all gone. And I said, well, I'd be interested in the empty boxes. Oh, she goes, okay, hold on. So she brings this out.
Jeez.
And there were no games in any of these. I'll go through them real quick. You might be able to see them. Gyromite.
So when you saw the Gyromite box, is that when you asked about Rob the Robot?
Yes.
All right.
So when I saw Gyromite, I said, because it's a Rob the Robot game.
It's the only way to play.
It's the only, yeah. And I just flat out asked her, I said, do you have Rob the Robot? And she was just like, well, yeah, I do, actually. And I'm like,
what are the chances?
Go get it. So she brought it out. It is almost complete. I think it's missing one of these little thingamajigs that should be on the other hand, but it has these little coaster spin things. I haven't tested it. She told me it didn't work because the battery compartment is missing one of those little springs. You know, you put batteries in, you push it against a little spring.
Spiral.
One of those little spring things is missing. Honestly, this looks really cool on my shelf in my game room. I'm never going to use it anyway, so I'm not in a hurry to repair it. I don't really care that it doesn't work. I went on YouTube and I watched videos of people playing Gyromite with Rob the Robot. Dude, it looks really stupid. I'm never going to do that.
I think it would be fun once, and then you'd be like,
I guess. Yeah. Apparently, he's supposed to turn and pick up these little spin things and put them over here and watch them spin around. And dude,
I know.
There's a reason Nintendo gave up on this really early on. This is not what people wanted.
Nintendo for a long time has always considered themselves to be a toy company.
Yeah.
Even though we just want them to make games, but this is a piece of that kind of history. But if you fast forward, the Wii, you could argue, is kind of a toy.
Oh yeah.
Right? They've constantly been doing this kind of stuff.
And yeah, it was a weird time.
Show the rest of the games. Yeah.
So Duck Hunt came with the cart. The other ones did not. Gyromite, Excite Bike.
Oh,
check that out. Super Mario Brothers.
I'm so jealous
Original
of that.
Super Mario Brothers. Is there a more iconic box art than this? I don't think there is.
And hardly anyone ever even owned that box.
Yeah, it came with the system.
Yeah.
I mean, when we were kids, we had the
Mario
system.
Duck Hunt combination cart.
Right. So maybe later, I'm thinking there was a version of the NES that didn't come with a game, or maybe
there was, but also Nintendo was aware of the fact that people had, they lost their games would break, they would get stolen. I don't know.
That's true. So yeah, a lot of black box games here. Kung Fu, another one.
Sick, man.
Contra, pretty awesome.
I love Contra. Is there a better 8-bit just pick up and play game?
2-player co-op.
Man.
I mean, that might have been the first 2-player co-op game any of us ever played. That was before Bubble Bobble.
Before Gauntlet?
Maybe.
I mean, either way.
I don't know. Mike Tyson's Punch-Out, one of my favorite all-time games. Love Mike Tyson's Punch-Out. And then Ice Hockey, which, dude, me and Phil played the heck out of this when we were kids. We loved this game.
I learned everything I know about hockey I learned from this game.
Yeah. Pick the skinny dudes, and you can just go really fast. But don't get close to the fat dudes because they'll beat you up.
Well, then you get into a fight, and then the referee comes, and then you get the penalty box.
Yeah, you throw in the penalty box.
Which, for some reason, when I was 9 years old, it was hilarious to me.
Man. It was nothing
I don't know
funny.
why it was so funny. You and I would just be laughing hysterically.
We would try to get it in the penalty box.
What was so funny about that?
I don't know.
We'd never seen anything like it at that point.
Yeah. Anyway, all of these have the manual with them. Everyone, and the styrofoam, the maps, everything. Look at this Mike Tyson's Punch-Out. Mike Tyson's Punch-Out. We got the manual. We got this Now You're Playing with Power little mini poster that I'm not going to take apart. And it also comes with, look at this. I didn't even know about this. There's a letter here that's, from Mike Tyson that comes with this little picture and signature. And it's like, dear player, it's gimmicky. It's kind of stupid, but
It's still really
dude,
cool.
This thing alone.
I'm gonna check my copy real quick.
Oh yeah.
No, I don't have that.
Yeah. This letter alone I've seen sell for over $100 on eBay.
Wow.
Yeah.
So what did you pay for the whole lot?
I could tell she knew something about Rob the Robot. She knew it had some value. But she wouldn't throw a number out. I just said $100 for everything. She countered with $125. So I said, okay. So $125. I mean, this little letter alone is probably worth $125. So I was really stoked about that. Since then, I have completed a few of the games.
This one's complete.
I got the cartridge for Kung Fu. I got the cartridge for Super Mario Brothers. Was there a version of the NES that didn't come that came with this but not Duck Hunt?
I have no idea.
I don't know.
Maybe somebody else.
I mean, it's
does.
a black box game, which they eventually went away from.
Yeah, real early, right?
I don't know.
I don't know.
But I love this. I have in my game room the Lego Nintendo set that comes with the Lego little TV.
So sweet.
I put this right up next to it. Dude, it looks so awesome. I love it. I think I completed Gyromite. It's another cheap. I've completed like the cheap, inexpensive games.
Complete. I feel like I should know more about Nintendo history. Those real early years are fascinating to me. Like a lot of people, I don't even think there's a lot of information on it. Like, what was the North American release date outside of like New York? Like, I don't think anybody really knows.
Even the games themselves, it's really hard to find release dates for those because back in the 80s, there just wasn't a really well documented like street date the way there is now. Nintendo would ship these things out to toy stores, and it was just they'd just sell them when they got them. It wasn't this like
nobody went, oh, let's write this down.
Ooh,
February
Mortal
of
Monday,
1980.
Remember the Mortal Monday?
Yeah, September 10th. Something like that.
Mortal Kombat, they had a defined like street date. And they were like, they told all the toy stores, do not sell this early.
But it makes it a fun piece of history because there's still a lot of mystery around that.
Yeah.
Right.
It does.
Any other finds?
Nothing that I brought. Most of the stuff this year has just been Wii bundles. A lot of Wii bundles stuff. I must have 5 or 6 copies of Wii Sports Resort. I found that combo disc, the Wii Sports Resort.
Yeah, that was kind of cool.
That was kind of cool. I never found that before.
I didn't know it existed until you showed me.
Yeah. I think there was a Wii that came with that was bundled with that.
And you found an Xbox One?
Oh, yeah. I found an Xbox One S. He brought out the Xbox, and it had an external hard drive with it. It's in good shape, works really well.
Nope.
So anyway, he sold me that Xbox and a Wii for $30.
Whoa.
And the Xbox came with 3 controllers, I think. Wii was complete. Bonus game was Wii Sports Resort.
Wow, what a find.
Yeah, for $30. Different sale, same neighborhood. I pull up to a house, and this guy's got a ton of Pokemon cards. He's putting them out on this table. And he's putting them out as I'm walking up. Just a table of Pokemon cards. And I have to confess, I don't know much about Pokemon cards. I don't know what's valuable. I don't know what to look for. I don't
know what's 25 years old versus what came out this year.
That's the thing. They've been making them every year for 25 years. And I don't know the difference. He had a whole table full of them. So naturally, it's like, hey, where are your games?
Exactly.
His response is, well, what kind of games are you looking for?
I love that response.
I just start naming everything. I probably even named Rob the Robot after that. I was like, yeah, Virtual Boy, I don't know. So he's like, he said, I'm a collector, but yeah, why don't you just come on inside? Okay, it's always a little weird. Okay, he brought me in his game room, which was a garage.
Well, at least it wasn't a torture chamber. I mean, it could have gone
that
either
was
way.
Next door, yeah. So I go in the guy's game room. First thing I see is a massive wall of more Pokemon cards. I mean, this guy must have been collecting this stuff for decades. All just unopened packs, like the big like blister packs and boxes and stuff. Yeah. All unopened. Just huge wall of Pokemon cards. So his other wall had all his game stuff. He had Nintendo 64, he had Super Nintendo, he had Wii, Wii U, mostly Nintendo stuff. He unfortunately wasn't really looking to sell very much. He kind of let me go through and find some duplicates and find some stuff that he wasn't really attached to. But he was a really fun guy to talk to, and it was a funny. If this had been one of those where I walked away with everything, it would have been like one of the greatest finds of my lifetime, because he had a lot of stuff. I mean, he had those. I think you have some in your closet. You know those like white storage bins that go up to like here with like the drawers that all pull out?
Yeah.
He had tons of those. They're just all filled with games. It's like a whole drawer PS2,
Honestly,
another drawer PS2, another drawer...
That Pokemon stuff. I mean, sealed Pokemon cards, I don't know anything about them, but I know that like the old ones can be worth money.
Yeah. So I walked away with a handful of Super Nintendo games. Nothing exciting, but it was fun. It was fun to talk to him.
Yeah. So other than that, I finished Tears of the Kingdom.
I'm still playing it. I got a little late start because I was playing Octopath 2, and I had to beat that first.
Well, and for anyone that doesn't know, like, we're both massive Breath of the Wild fans. Like, we have proclaimed it our favorite game of all time.
Unapologetically.
Now that I've played through Tears of the Kingdom, it is my favorite game of all time. And I don't even think it's close, quite honestly.
Not only that, but I don't think I can go back to Breath of the Wild.
I've been wondering that. I don't know.
I don't know either.
What's the point?
Yeah.
Tears of the Kingdom is everything Breath of the Wild was, and then a whole bunch more.
And then 3 times as much.
I think Tears of the Kingdom is one of the single greatest pieces of entertainment in the history of the world.
Yep.
It is such an achievement, and I am so baffled playing through the game that the designers did so many of these things. And how did they do it? The things that you can do in this game, there's, I think, 30 Zonai devices in the game, and you can attach all of them to each other, as well as a bunch of other things in the world. I mean, grab a calculator. I mean, someone has probably done this, but like, how many different combinations can you make? It's got to be in the millions. Either that or it's unlimited. I mean, in 20 years, people are still going to be like posting videos on the internet of like, wow, look at this cool contraption I just made in Tears of the Kingdom that no one had ever seen before. It is unfathomable. It blows my mind away. The freedom that you have, it's everything I've ever wanted in a video game, but you know, weirdly, it's everything that I've ever wanted to do in life with a child imagination. You know, you and I spent a lot of time in the woods as kids.
Yeah, killing bokoblins.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But like, what you really wanted was to jump into a cave.
Yeah.
And to find some treasure. I mean, and I know I said all this about Breath of the Wild when it came out.
I know.
And I thought, how can this game ever be topped? And not only did they top it, but they almost made Breath of the Wild
obsolete.
They retroactively made it irrelevant.
Yeah.
I can't even believe it.
I don't get it either.
What a feat. What an accomplishment this game is.
I like how every time I beat a shrine, I think to myself, wait, I wasn't supposed to do it like that, was I? Because with the way that you've kind of been programmed with video games in your lifetime is whatever level or whatever puzzle or quest, there's a way the designers intend you to do that. And, you know, there are communities out there, like the speedrunning community is always like,
They broke the game. They always call it breaking the game when you don't do it like the designers intended.
They're gonna find a way. They're gonna do a backwards long jump. They're gonna find a way to beat a game in the unintended way. But with Tears of the Kingdom, almost every shrine, I beat it and I'm just like, there's no way I was supposed to do it. Like, but that's the brilliance of it. You're not supposed to do it any certain way.
Yep. They give you a whole bunch of tools and devices, and they're just like, here.
Yeah.
However you want to do it. And not just the shrines, but frankly, the entire game is that way. All the temples, the enemies, every puzzle that you encounter. You and I both had the same experience with the water temple, which weirdly is way up in the sky. But we both accidentally found it really early on in the game. And when I came across the water temple, first of all, I was like, holy crap, water temple, like N64 nightmares.
I had PTSD when I saw that come on my screen.
But at the same time, I'm like, I'm not supposed to be here. There's no way I'm supposed to be here. And technically I wasn't, but the designers still allowed that backdoor way to just barely cheat your way up there if you really wanted to.
Yeah.
And we both had that discovery, and that's just incredible.
Yeah.
It's incredible. How did they do this?
I don't know. And I know it's a Switch game, and the graphics aren't that sophisticated.
I think it's
but
gorgeous. I mean,
it looks good. I mean,
Yeah.
it looks fine. It looks like Breath of the Wild.
It does. And I
All
love
right.
the art style.
And
I'm a sucker for that art style.
I like the art style too, but it's not, it's not, doesn't blow you away. Let's put it that way. It looks like a 6-year-old Switch game. Yeah, it's,
I'm mostly just very thankful that I feel like Nintendo has just really come around in this generation. I think the Switch is far and away the greatest console of all time. I don't even think it's close anymore. And I say that as I am a fan of first-party Nintendo games, but I'm also a big RPG fan, JRPG fan. And,
Oh, yeah.
And there's hundreds of them on the console. I mean, it's absolute beast when it comes to RPGs. I feel like after about the Wii era, those games just weren't for me anymore. I don't know, it's hard to explain it. Like, Mario 3D World on the Wii U, frankly, almost everything on the Wii U, I'm just not really a fan of, And
Yeah,
we
I
didn't
get
really
it.
get any Zelda games on the Wii U except for, ports and remasters.
well, Breath of the Wild.
I'm not counting that.
I count it.
I just in Skyward Sword was a late Wii game. I didn't love Skyward Sword. I tried to get into it a couple times, and I just kind of felt like Nintendo had gone off into the gimmick direction with not only the home console but with the handhelds. There was a part of me just thinking, man, are they ever going to come back? After this generation, Mario Odyssey is one of my all-time favorite games. I just love Mario Odyssey, and now we get 2 Zelda games on this console. We got 2 of them. I can't even believe this. And then a whole slew of other wonderful games. I'm just so thankful that they've come back and they've won me over, because I had really given up on them, I think, for a while.
Yeah.
Anyway, just my opinion, but
No.
Really
I just
happy.
played through Octopath Traveler 2.
Yeah.
Dude, that's one of my favorite games in recent memory.
it's
Awesome.
it is incredible, and I love the first one too. I've gone
Yeah,
through
me
it
too.
twice,
Yeah.
and I'm in the middle of the second one. But we've talked about this before. Final Fantasy 2 and 3 on the Super Nintendo. I've always felt deep down
4 and 6.
4 and 6. I've always felt deep down that they never really got a sequel, because after 6, the formula just went, whoosh, completely different. And
PlayStation came around.
yeah, and a lot of
3D.
people love those games, and that's fine. They're not personally for me, I don't think, after 6. But I feel like Octopath 1 and 2, those are the sequels to Final
Yes.
Fantasy 4 and 6 that we never got, but we
Yep.
got them now.
Yep. Well said. Octopath 2, I like it so much more than I thought I would.
We have dogs. They're fighting
We got
in
some
the
dogs
hallway. I don't know. Do people really want to listen to us drone on about RPGs on the Switch? I don't know. So
I'll try to get some footage next time, especially if I know someone's going in and bringing something out. But this is by far my best find this year.
That's so beautiful.
Yeah. And she didn't really, like I said, she didn't put much value on all the empty boxes. I think she was going to throw them away. She wasn't going to put them out or anything. But, dude, I'll take them.
So beautiful.
Yeah.
Cool. All right.
All right,
I guess
guys.
that's all we got.